the hell is going on, Americans? Jericho Green here with you once again, and I must talk about that wonderful, beautiful, perfect State of the Union speech last night. That was a work of art. Trump covered, there's some things he could have covered more, but I like the fact that he touched on a lot of good things. And one of my favorite was how he said, great countries do not fight endless wars. We need to get up out of there. We need to get up out of Syria, which we will, which we are. Afghanistan, Iraq, all that shit. We need to be done. And he talked about how he's speaking with leaders in Afghanistan to work toward a peaceful withdrawal. He talked about how he's bringing the troops home from Syria. And he talked about how he dealt with North Korea, how this was supposed to end in nuclear war, how in reality it's been 15 months since AB missile has been fired by North Korea. Now, does this mean it's all good? North and South Korea are going to get along and hug and take down the DMZ and come together like Europe did when David Hasselhoff was on top of the wall singing freedom? I don't know if that's going to happen, but this is a damn good start. This is already miles beyond what the last 2 or 3 presidents, or any president really since the Korean War, has been able to do. And he talked about how record unemployment for colored folk. He talked about how 58% of the jobs created were filled by women. And even those bitter bitches over there wearing their all white had to stand up and clap for that. And they showed Ilhan Omar. I still don't trust that bitch. And she was sitting there wearing her hijab on the job. I did a video about that. Shag it. But the speech was great. It was powerful. It was succinct, and it was full of facts. And you saw Chuck Schumer sit there and not clap when he was talking about the unemployment numbers. You saw Pelosi begrudgingly clap behind him, I think only because she was on camera because she was sitting behind the president. And also, before I forget, he pointed out this little 10-year-old girl who was sitting with the first lady. And she's a 10-year-old girl with cancer. And of course, before she got cancer, she's raising money for, St. Jude's. The girl's an angel, but she has cancer now. And if you didn't get choked up when they panned over and showed that little girl, you are dead inside. That shit almost got me. Almost. It almost got me. But it was wonderful to see that little girl there. It was wonderful for people to see the more caring, more human side of Trump. Because if you leave it up to the mainstream mediocres, all they're going to show is him calling Rosie O'Donnell a fat pig, which she is, and she's disgusting. But what made his speech even better was seeing the weak-ass, emotion-soaked response from Stacey Abrams, the failed governor of Georgia. She gets up there looking like Marsha Warfield. And it started off good. She started off with this story about her dad and how he gave his jacket to this homeless person when he was walking home. She talked about her family, how hard they worked, the values they instilled in her and her siblings. And I was like, man, are they really going to do this? Are they going to do a rebuttal to his State of the Union with no emotion and no liberal, left-wing, stupid-ass talking points? Man, fuck no. She didn't. Because soon after that, she said, I was volunteering to hand out meals. And I was like, oh, cool. She's, working with the homeless and shit. And she's like, we're handing out meals to the workers furloughed by the government shutdown. I was like, oh, shit, here we go. And there it was. The liberal dam broke, and it just came spilling out of her disgusting face. This administration are using the federal workers as pawns, to get what they want politically. And this administration believes in caging children and tearing families apart. Bitch, you ought to be ashamed of yourself for saying that dumb shit. You giving us gap-toothed folks a bad name. It's me, you, and Michael Strahan, and you're fucking it up. This administration believes in caging children. Just this one, not the last one. You mean Obama didn't do that? Because I didn't see your stupid ass up there saying that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago. I didn't hear that. But now it's a problem. Now these caged children is a problem. Now let's talk about caged children. Do you mean caged permanently? Like they leave them in the cage and give them one of those little water things you give to your pet hamster or your rabbit? Or do you mean they're temporarily put in chain link fenced in areas before they're moved to the Radisson, basically? Candace Owens did a video. She went inside and took a tour of one of the facilities. I'm not sure if it was in Florida or where it was, but it was a facility where they keep these caged children. She said they were in there playing video games, pool, reading, yoga. They got games where they can go outside and play any game they want. They have a medical staff there. They have food prepared for them. Is that being caged? If that's the case, cage my ass up now. Cage me up forever. Ripping families apart? You mean these dumbasses who came up here knowing that they're breaking the law and they're probably going to be separated from their children and be detained? Those families, those children who come up here and chances are they're not coming with their real family. They're coming up here with a fucking coyote or some sex trafficker or some other person trying to sneak in the country using them? Or are you talking about different caged children? Because the ones I see are playing PS4 and gaining weight by the day. Ripping families apart, huh? And she talked about let's get this straight. Voter suppression is real. You're fucking lying. No, it's not. All you need to vote is valid ID and prove that you live in the area that you're voting in. That's it. You know how I know? Because I've done it a million fucking times. Now, voter suppression, are you talking about those new Black Panthers who are standing outside of voting areas with guns? Are you talking about that voter suppression? Because I know if I were a white person and I walked up there to go vote, I'd be a little apprehensive about approaching these people with guns, being part of a group that doesn't like me. Because you know, if it was a bunch of Klansmen standing there in their hoods with some shotguns and shit, telling black folks not to vote, there'd be a fucking problem. But since we live in this Alice in Wonderland, flip-flop, up is down, down is up bullshit world that the liberals have created, it's okay for Black Panthers to stand outside of a fucking polling place with guns and intimidate people. Now, if that's the kind of voter suppression you're talking about, you're fucking right. It does exist. But if you're talking about the real kind, if you're talking about the kind where it keeps black folks from voting, you're a fucking liar. And of course, she talked about climate change. We need to combat climate change. Will you sit your Aunt Jemima looking ass down somewhere and shut the fuck up? We can't do a damn thing about climate change. We mean nothing to this earth and this environment. If the earth sees us as a problem, it will hiccup and we're all fucking dead. Does climate change exist? Yeah, okay. Do we cause it? We have no fucking idea, and there is nothing that we can do about it. Now, if you listen to Ocasio-Cortez, climate change doesn't fucking matter because the world's going to end in 12 years, right? So why are we even doing this? Why are we even having elections or anything else? Why are we paying our bills if it's all over in 12 years? Man, please. But she hit all the talking points, the LGBTQ, ABC, 1, 2, 3, do, re, mi, all that shit. She hit all their stupid fucking talking points. I thought you were going to bring the heat. Like I said, it started off good. But that's what's wrong with the left. They don't have any facts. All they have is feelings. And telling you that this administration is ripping families apart and we're destroying the environment and black folks can't vote. It hits you right here, but you need to be hit up here. This is only good for some things. Sometimes you got to abandon this and use this one up here. Those are the strings they need to be tugging on, not your fucking heart. Cut through the feelings, get to the facts. Fact is, the Democrats are fucked because all they have is feelings. Facts don't give a shit about them. I want less money taken out of my check. I want to be protected. And I want the government to leave me the fuck alone. And I can't remember who I was listening to, but they had a good point. When they talk about taxing the billionaires, to somebody who don't know shit, be like, yeah, that's right. They have a bunch of money. Give me some of it. They have billions. They don't need that much money. Sounds great. Till the billionaires go, fuck this. It's too expensive. I'm out. Then who's left to foot the bill? You and me. That's who's left. You want them to tax us at 70%? Why don't you get a pen pal from fucking Sweden and they'll let you know what it's like to be taxed at 70%. So everybody can have everything. Everybody does not deserve everything. Children and the elderly. If you're anywhere between those two, you fend for your fucking self. You make your own way in the world. What's wrong with that? But that's not what they want. They want the government to handle all your needs cradle to grave. And like I've said before, in order to get to socialism, you must go through capitalism. We're a capitalist society. We got a bunch of money. Shit's going good. So they're like, all right, let's fuck it up. Let's start taking everybody's fucking money and paying for a bunch of bullshit that most people don't want anyway. But Trump said the wall will get built, and I believe him. He had some an angel family, I guess you could say. 3 weeks ago, their family was killed by an illegal. He had them there. And he said this wall will get built. And he started his message, his entire message was about that, but he started it by saying, look, we need to come together. We have two parties, but we need to rule as one. The American people are the focus here. So we need to get over the politics of revenge, the politics of get back, and come together and make shit happen. The Democrats aren't saying that. The Democrats are saying Trump, 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 Trumpity Trump, 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 Trumper Trump, Trumpty Trump. That's what they're saying. He's bad. He's racist. He's sexist. He's trying to do this. He's trying to do that. American people, American people. You don't give a fuck about the American people. If you did, you do what we tell you. If you gave a fuck about the American people, you wouldn't be standing in the way of getting this wall built, because that's what the American people want. Why the fuck wouldn't we have a secure border? Every other country does. So why wouldn't the best country in the world have one? Makes sense to me. And I believe him. He said it's going to get built. It will get built, with or without the Democrats' help. But of course, he's extending that olive branch to say, look, let's do this the right way. Let's do this with bipartisan support. Let's both come together and do what our boss, the American people, want us to do. But eventually that olive branch is going to get pulled back, and he's going to say, fuck that, fuck you, Army Corps of Engineers, get down there, build that bitch to the moon. Case closed. He's already putting more troops down there. So let's go. What would be really ironic is if you got a bunch of those cats outside the Home Depot and shit to come build it and build themselves on the other side. And I didn't see him pan to that fucking illegal dum-dum that they invited there, that lady who was fired from his fucking resort. I didn't see her stupid ass there. Maybe ICE came and got her before the show started. I hope. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Did you think that State of the Union speech was as beautiful as I did? And did you think that Stacey Abrams' stupid ass rebuttal was as dumb as I did? Now you know how it goes, people. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow your boy on the Twitters @Green_Jericho. Utilize that PayPal link in the description box. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.